All right, welcome back into the Juice Alert once again. My name is Jamon McKinney, and now I'm going to rank the 10 best football players right now heading into the 2022-2023 season. Aaron Donald is the best player in the entire NFL right now. Aaron Donald is the best football player in the NFL. Aaron Donald is the only player in the entire NFL I would rate a 99 overall. Aaron Donald is essentially flawless as a player. He is playing his position at the highest level among any player in comparison to their position right now in the NFL. I firmly believe Aaron Donald should have won Super Bowl MVP when the Rams defeated the Bengals in Super Bowl 56. I believed he was robbed of Super Bowl MVP. As great as Cooper Kupp was, it was one of the all-time great defensive performances in the postseason that I, quite frankly, have ever seen. Okay? And when you look at Aaron Donald's body of work, he's played in the NFL for 8 years. Every single year, he's been a Pro Bowler. The last 7 years, he's been top 5 in Defensive Player of the Year voting every single year. He's a 3-time Defensive Player of the Year award already. That's tied for the most ever. He's led the NFL in sacks back in 2018. He had 20 and a half sacks as a defensive tackle, people. He has incredible size, strength, speed. He is impossible to game plan for. You absolutely have to double and sometimes even triple team this guy just to neutralize him. And that allows for other guys to play their positions at a higher level because so much attention is being drawn to Aaron Donald. He's the best player in all of football right now. Number 2 is Patrick Mahomes. Incredible arm talent. He's an incredibly talented quarterback. He's in the conversation for most talented quarterback to ever play the game of football. His ability to scramble around in the pocket and buy time and keep his eyes down the field is probably the best in the entire NFL right now. You know, the only guy that would rival him too in that regard is Aaron Rodgers, but Aaron Rodgers is a little bit older. Patrick Mahomes is still at the peak of his prime. He's still very young. The last 4 years, he's won a Super Bowl. He's been to multiple Super Bowls. He's won a league MVP. Every year that he started up to this point, and it's only been 4 years, but in those 4 years, he's been in the AFC Championship game every single year. And I think that his incredible leadership qualities are definitely the underrated factor that doesn't get talked about enough. He's very good at coming from behind and stealing victories. He overcomes adversity very well. His team rallies around him. He's the second best player in the NFL right now. Derrick Henry, to me, is the best running back in the entire NFL right now. He's the third best player in all football. There might be more running backs out there that are more complete than Derrick Henry. For example, Saquon Barkley, Christian McCaffrey. Those guys provide more in the passing game, you know. However, that does not make them better than Derrick Henry. I'm sorry. In the last 4 years, how can you argue any other running back being better than Derrick Henry? Now, again, Jonathan Taylor is coming. I said Jonathan Taylor had the potential to be the next Adrian Peterson once he was drafted coming out of Wisconsin, but Jonathan Taylor's only had one elite season. Up to this point, Derrick Henry's body of work is better than Jonathan Taylor and better than any running back going forward right now if we're kind of somewhat being prisoners of the moment, okay? This guy is able to get 25 to 30 carries week in and week out and put your entire offense on his back. His ability to break tackles is something that is really uncanny to me. He makes something out of nothing consistently. You know, even when guys, you know, kind of have him bobbled up, Derrick Henry's always running forward. He's always improving his offensive line. And he has incredible speed in the open field, people. He's super hard to tackle. He's almost impossible to stop in the red zone. I mean, if you needed a running back to score from the 1 yard line or you're going to die, life on the line, money on the line, I'm giving that football to Derrick Henry because I believe he's the best running back in the entire NFL. Number 4 for me is Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers has a legitimate argument for number 1 on this list. He just won back-to-back league MVPs. He's a 4-time MVP winner for his career. Only Peyton Manning has won more MVPs than Aaron Rodgers in NFL history. For my money, Aaron Rodgers is the most talented quarterback to ever play the game of football. I know Tom Brady has a better overall career resume than Aaron Rodgers. He ranks higher all time. But if we're talking right now, I think that Aaron Rodgers edges out guys like Tom Brady, guys like Josh Allen, guys like Joe Burrow, Justin Herbert. Maybe in a year or two, we'll be saying Joe Burrow or Justin Herbert are above Aaron, but not right now. I think Aaron Rodgers is the most accurate thrower of the football in the NFL and really in NFL history. His ability to not throw interceptions is the best I've ever seen. And we saw him pretty much just carry the Green Bay Packers this past year once again through injuries to the offensive line, the wide receiver, the defense. Green Bay still found a way to win 13 games and get the number one seed despite being one of the most injury-riddled teams all year. I will say Aaron is a little bit more, Aaron is a little bit more scheme-dependent than he has been in years past, where he could just take over with his physical tools, 4, 5, 6 years ago, but he is definitely still deserving of being on this list. The best defensive player in the NFL, not named Aaron Donald, is TJ Watt. He just won Defensive Player of the Year. It was well deserved. I felt he should have won Defensive Player of the Year over Aaron Donald a year ago as well. He's a game changer. He gets a ton of sacks. He forces fumbles. He's great on third down. Impossible to block one-on-one. Back-to-back years, he's led the NFL in sacks and tackles for a loss. He has incredible versatility. I think TJ Watt deserves the 5 spot. Now, Trent Williams has been argued to be, by some, as the best player in the entire NFL of recent. I disagree, but he definitely deserves to be on my list. I have him at the number 6 spot. Okay, he's the best run blocker in the entire NFL. Now, he's not the best pass blocker, but he is still elite in that category. He rarely gets beat. He has incredible size and strength. He's very intelligent. And you can drop Trent Williams into any scheme, and he is going to elevate your offensive line and elevate your offense and protect the blind side of a quarterback. I also believe if you moved him to guard or right tackle, he could play that position at a very high level as well. Trent Williams, to me, is the best offensive lineman going right now. Heading into 2022, 2023, he gets the 6th spot for me. The best wide receiver in the entire NFL is Tyreek Hill, people. And I know this is going to be a very, very hot take for some people, but let me make the argument. Tyreek Hill is the fastest player in the entire NFL. He's the ultimate game changer. You cannot simply game plan for Tyreek Hill's speed. You just can't do it because you can't teach the speed that he has. A 1 or 2 yard pass to Tyreek Hill can turn into an 80-yard touchdown instantly if your defense makes a mistake. Tyreek Hill is great in the quick game. He can turn 1 to 2 yard passes into big gains. He's super duper versatile. You can move him around in the slot. He's able to beat man coverage on the outside one-on-one. He's gotten a lot better at winning 50-50 balls. He does occasionally drop a pass or two, but, that's not the worst thing in the world when you're making so many big plays. And I will say, Tyreek Hill is probably arguably the best deep threat in the entire NFL. I don't think that's without a question. No wide receiver right now today keeps defensive coordinators up at night more than Tyreek Hill. Even in a down year, Tyreek Hill still had over 1,000 yards and over 100 catches, man. The attention he draws is really, really crazy, and it allows for other guys to get other opportunities because the attention is drawn to Tyreek Hill so much. I think Tyreek Hill is, without a doubt, the best wide receiver in the entire NFL. I know some people are going to argue for Davante Adams, Justin Jefferson, Cooper Kupp. Cooper Kupp has only had 1 elite season. Davante Adams, to me, is not quite as talented as Tyreek Hill from a game-changing perspective. Like Davante Adams, he'll catch a lot of passes, but it's a lot of jabs. Not a whole lot of home runs. The big play threat ability of Tyreek Hill outweighs the big play threat ability of a guy like Davante Adams. I know that Tyreek Hill has played with Patrick Mahomes of recent, but Patrick Mahomes does not defy who Tyreek Hill is. Tyreek Hill was a Pro Bowler even before Patrick Mahomes got to Kansas City. He can work with any type of quarterback. I expect his production to not drop off, even with Tua Tagovailoa, who I really don't believe in being his quarterback. But yeah, I think Tyreek Hill is firmly the 7th best player in the entire NFL. As of recent, he hasn't had quite the best season to warrant putting him in the top 5, but he definitely has an argument for the top 5 just based off of impact and talent alone. But for now, I have him at the number 7 spot. Travis Kelce, in a down year, had 92 catches, over 1,000 yards, and 9 touchdowns. To me, he's the 8th best player in the entire NFL. For the better part of a half decade, Travis Kelce has been the best tight end in the entire NFL. We are talking route running, finding soft spots in the defense. There's no one better at consistently getting open at the tight end position than Travis Kelce. He kind of reminds me of Jason Witten in a way, where Jason Witten just somehow, some way, always found a way to get open. But Jason Witten didn't have the big play ability that Travis Kelce provides you. Travis Kelce is able to break tackles. He's able to run down the field and beat man covers consistently. He has good speed in the open field. He is super duper reliable. He's a great red zone threat. He's the best tight end in the entire NFL. It's been that way for the past couple of years. For all you George Kittle fanboys out there, I understand George Kittle as a talent is very comparable to Travis Kelce, but from a production and durability standpoint, Kittle doesn't hold a candle to what Travis Kelce provides you. In a couple of years, maybe Kittle can overtake Travis Kelce, but for now, Travis Kelce to me is a top 10 player in the entire NFL. I have him at the number 8 spot. The best edge rusher not named TJ Watt in the entire NFL is Myles Garrett. For a while, I was of the belief that Myles Garrett was better than TJ Watt. And when it's all said and done, who knows? Maybe Myles Garrett can surpass TJ Watt on the all-time list of defensive players. It'll be very interesting 10 to 15 years from now when they're both done playing who will rank higher. But for right now, I think TJ Watt has proven to have the better career. He's proven to be better right now. But I don't want to make this a Watt versus Garrett comparison. I just want to say quickly for my reasoning as to why I have TJ where I have TJ and where I have Myles where I have Myles. The last 3 years, TJ Watt's been more productive, he's been more durable, and he's the more versatile player too. You can move TJ Watt around a little bit better than Myles Garrett. That's my opinion, however, and I think that opinion can be backed up with some facts through watching film and observing things, but Myles Garrett, he's the 9th best player in the NFL. He has great size, great power, great finesse moves. I mean, he's what a number 1 overall pick embodies. Outside of Aaron Donald and TJ Watt, there's not a better defensive player in the NFL, at least as I speak today, heading into 2022, 2023, than Myles Garrett. He looks like he's been built from a lab. He's incredible. He's the 9th best football player right now. Derwin James is the best safety in the entire NFL. Now, I understand that he's very, very injury prone and he's missed a ton of games. So if you want to take into account the durability factor and say you're disqualifying Derwin James because he hasn't played enough games of recent, okay, you kind of got me right there. But I'm taking into account what I see on the field when you actually play. And when I'm evaluating what Derwin James brings to the table, there is simply not a more complete safety in the NFL right now, and not a more versatile safety. And really, he's one of the most versatile defensive players in the entire NFL, point blank, period. This guy can line up at cornerback, middle linebacker, free safety, strong safety. I've seen the Chargers rush this guy off the edge as a pass rusher. The Chargers defense, with and without him, I mean, the statistics speak for themselves. The Chargers last year, in a game that Derwin James didn't play versus the Houston Texans, they gave up over 200 yards rushing to the Houston Texans, people. Think about that. So, to me, Derwin James, incredible speed, incredible instincts, always has a knack for where the ball is. He has incredible ball skills. He's a great run defender. What does Derwin James not do well? I mean, I don't think I'm crazy for having him ranked as the 10th best player in the entire NFL. If you want to knock him for his durability concerns, that's fine. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to rank the player based on where I would rank them, based on their production when they're on the field.